Hello, thank you for clicking that link and joining me again today. I am so glad you did. My name is Dee. I am Fat Chick in a Barn, and today we are here to talk about 1,000 pounds. We are here today to talk about 1,000 Pound Best Friends Season 2, Episode 10, the season finale. I guess we're not gonna get 8 more episodes, so here we are. This one is called The Line Between Love and Weight. Not so clever on this naming convention, are you? As always, the show opens up precisely... Words are freaking hard. As always, the show opens up... I'm too excited. I am too excited! As always, the show opens up where it left off with Tina not going to surgery. Megan sends Nee to go in and talk to Tina. And Tina is being an introvert here, or what I perceive, not to be flippant, and I apologize for that, but if you're an introvert, you know exactly what I'm about to say. You make plans that sound great, you're super excited about it, it sounds fun, you wanted to do it when you made the plans, except for when the day comes that you actually have to get dressed and go do the thing. And then you're like, I don't want to go. That's exactly what's happening to Tina right here. But I know surgery is a whole different matter, much more serious than making plans with friends and then not feeling like going. Nee goes in and asks if she's even told the hospital she's not coming, and she's like, nope. Tina then goes on to elaborate that she has had complications with every surgery she's ever had, so the prospect of getting complications with this one is absolutely terrifying for her. And I can totally understand her fear because I went and had a cyst removed from my knee, and it was a very minor surgery, but they did have to knock me out for it, and I was terrified. While Nee is in talking to Tina, Megan takes this opportunity to call Vanessa to come over and try to talk Tina down off the ledge. And it sounded like Vanessa was at home, and I kind of thought Vanessa would have been at the hospital with Ashley, since both Ashley and Tina were supposed to be getting their surgeries today. So I'm like, what are you doing at home? But I could be wrong. She might have been at the hospital, but then again, this whole thing might be completely contrived, because now I'm wondering if Tina was ever going to get the surgery, or if this whole season was kind of made up with Tina saying, oh, I will get the surgery, we're all going to pretend that I am, but really I'm not. Cut to Ashley in the hospital talking to Dr. Proctor pre-surgery, and he asks her what surgery she's going to have, and she says she's going to have the duodenal switch, as she has already had the gastric sleeve. Cut back to Tina's situation with Vanessa and Megan. Tina's not happy at all that Megan called Vanessa. Tina doesn't want Vanessa to yell at her and get all, you know, how Vanessa gets. But Vanessa started out very calm, and then it escalated really quickly, and Tina's like, well, you just want to listen to what I have to say at all? And
I chose to change my life.
I wasn't almost 500 pounds. I'd still
Do you want a cookie for that? So what? So I was 500 pounds.
If you don't want to hear what I have to say, why did you come here?
I'm like, Tina, you needed a yell dildo. Vanessa goes on to say that Ashley is going to be devastated that Tina's not there getting the surgery with her, and they were going to do it all together. And coincidentally, Dr. Proctor FaceTimes Vanessa to let her know that Ashley is out of surgery and that Tina has never shown up for surgery. And so Vanessa hands the phone over to Tina, who confesses to him that she's chickened out.
What's going on?
I chickened out.
You chickened out?
Yeah. I just could not justify the risks, and I was too scared.
Now, not to be a dick, but again, I wonder if this has just been contrived from the beginning, you know, as if Tina was never going to get the surgery, and TLC was like, well, that's okay, just pretend. But then again, there was footage of her going to Dr. Connie, so I don't know. Now we cut to Vanessa's appointment with the plastic surgeon about her skin removal. So they talk about obvious stuff like her gunt fupa or whatever, lower tummy, whatever you want to call it. But apparently her bits are all loose skin as well, which I guess I never thought of. So the doctor talks about doing surgery down there as well. A gynoplasty. Now, from my understanding, skin removal surgery is quite painful and can cause weight regain because you're not moving around or doing anything. All you can do is lay there. And well, what do you do when you just lay there? You eat. And this will probably be several surgeries as well, like one for her gunt, fupa, lower tummy, whatever you want to call it, probably her inner thighs, and then a different one for her flying squirrel. Who knows, she might have something here. Who knows what they'll decide, but it will be several surgeries. They won't do it all at once, I don't think anyway. And then crushingly, the doctor told Vanessa that she wants her to be at her goal weight, which is 180 pounds, for 6 months to a year before they will even consider doing surgery on her. And Vanessa kind of expresses some concern about having to remain at her goal weight at 180 pounds. And I'm like, wasn't that the point? Wasn't that the point of the surgery? So that you could get your goal weight and stay there for the rest of your life. Isn't that the point? Seriously. So it shouldn't be any big deal. Cut to 2 weeks later. This show is jumping around quite a bit. But cut to 2 weeks later and it's Megan's wedding. T-minus 2 hours till the ceremony. And Megan heard me. They went to the Ren Fair to get married. How exciting is that? I think it's cool. And everyone had to dress up, so hang on just a minute. Huzzah! To Megan and Johnny. All right, back to the review, I guess. So, Nee got ordained so that he can marry Megan and Johnny. And they even got the cutest dragon and castle cake. It's so cute, it's adorable. And they've even hired Renaissance-esque performers to perform music at the ceremony, so that's cool too. So the besties are all sitting around in big heavy coats, so I'm guessing it's a cold morning there. And I'm guessing also at this juncture that Tina has not told Megan that she needs to GTFO. And Tina's all nervous about seeing Ashley again after surgery since she didn't show up and didn't get the surgery. Megan is still worried about marrying John, and the whole scene is more like a funeral and less like a wedding.
Tell everybody that before the day is out, we shall have a wedding. Or a hanging. Either way, we ought to have a lot of fun, huh?
Also, as an aside, Dr. Proctor discovered that Ashley has fatty liver disease. Ashley arrives and says she's already lost 30 pounds, and just a flashback, this is 2 weeks after her surgery. So, wow, that's amazing. And Ashley wants to talk to Tina privately, and she was upset that she was left hanging, and she wanted to know why. And Tina confesses that she was scared that she was going to have the complications, as we've already discussed ad nauseum here. And Ashley asks her, well, what's the plan now since you didn't get surgery? And Tina says she doesn't know. She says she was scared to make the wrong decision, and Ashley says she already did make the wrong decision by not getting the surgery. Now strap in, people, because this kind of thing annoys me. It annoys me that these shows always give the impression that you can't lose weight and keep it off without getting surgery. Like that is the only option. You couldn't possibly do it on your own. And maybe for the besties, because they were 500 pounds, maybe that is the only option that they had. But I don't think it's the correct option or the best option for everyone. And I feel it kind of takes people's agency away, to be honest. A lot like the Ozempic shots. Because you're telling people that there is no way they can lose weight without a shot or surgery. Now, granted, maybe for people that are 500 pounds, there really isn't a choice. But for maybe somebody who's only 100 pounds overweight, I can't even believe I say it only to that, but Perhaps for people that are only maximum 100 pounds overweight, they can do it on their own. But the 500-pound people could probably do it on their own if they did it right. And by that, I mean a moderate deficit, a moderate caloric deficit, not 1,200 calories. I mean, they could probably lop off 1,000 calories and be freaking losing weight like crazy, you know. And I don't believe the whole statistic that 95% of diets fail. That isn't correct. Every diet works, but it's a lifestyle change that lasts. And the whole 95% of diets fail stuff is from an old study that was done a while ago. It was done in a very small sample set of individuals, just like the besties, who needed like clinical help to lose weight, and they didn't keep it off because obviously they needed much more help than just losing weight on their own. And maybe it's cognitive dissonance on my part, you know, but I choose to believe that it's possible to lose weight and keep it off without having to have a surgery or having to take harsh medications like Ozempic or Wegovy or whatever. I mean, what else is there? To continue to be morbidly obese? I mean, some people aren't even going to be able to get the surgery. So you're telling someone who can't afford the surgery, maybe doesn't have great insurance, or maybe I don't know if access is in every state, but access is in my state, you know, that they're never going to get weight loss surgery because their insurance won't pay for it. So they're just screwed. You know, why even bother trying? Why not? You know, why give it the college try if you're just going to fail, you know? And with that, I also have the thought of, if you had cancer and the treatment was only 5% effective and 95% of it failed, would you choose the 5%? Would you choose to at least try to have the treatment that might save your life if it works? You know, like I said, I don't believe the 95% statistic anyway. And don't listen to people who tell you can't. At least give it a shot. Give it the right shot. I mean, shit, it's taken me a long time to figure out what you're supposed to do, you know? And I probably don't have it completely right yet, but I'm still trying. I'm still putting in the effort to lose weight, get fit, so I can live as long as possible, so I can enjoy the house that we're building as long as possible. And these surgeries have long-term effects too, because you are removing like what? I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, honestly, but what? You're removing like 3/4 of your stomach? I mean, there's complications like malnutrition because you can't absorb the vitamins, hair loss, tooth loss, just to name a couple things off the top of my head. And to a certain point, I understand that some people will need these surgeries, but I also kind of think they're barbaric because you're going in and cutting out someone's stomach. Sometimes they're cutting out 2 feet of intestine. I mean, it's an invasive, serious surgery. It's not like you're showing up and, you know, having some Botox or something in your forehead. I mean, it is serious, you know, and I think it should be a last resort. The last resort, if you cannot lose weight and keep it off. Last resort. You know, I think that therapy would go a long way. I think that education would go a long way because I think most people aren't educated on how to lose weight. They just think, okay, I want to lose weight, so I'm going to starve myself and eat a salad once a day. What? Why? No, don't do that. I mean, you could probably, for the average person, you could probably cut out your Starbucks drink. Just that. Just drink some like coffee with Splenda in it or something and cut out the coffee, you know, the 400 calorie coffee drink. And that's a 400 calorie deficit. Then take a 30-minute walk. You'd be styling, you know, it's not as dire as people want to make it out. Like the fat acceptance people want you to believe that the only way to lose weight is to starve yourself and it's not sustainable. You're going to gain it all back in 2 to 5 years. And that's not true. That's not true. You have to find what works for you. And I mean, you can start out simply, like I've said in a million videos, simply drink an ounce of water per pound of body weight, and that's going to cut your hunger down. Simply prioritize protein. Make sure you get good protein. And when I say good protein, I mean like chicken, not sausage, you know, or bacon, you know, real fatty meats. You want to try and get a leaner cut of meat for each meal. You can go to Walmart, Safeways, Bashas', whatever, and get the tuna packets. It's like 100 calories, maybe, depending on the one you get, and it's like 10 grams of protein. Eat one of those before you eat your, you know, your carb-laden bullshit, you know, and drink some water. You know, it's not that hard. It is really not. I mean, like, I understand when you get into the nitty-gritty of it, it can be very difficult, you know, especially if you've conditioned yourself to eat in a certain way. Your family eats in a certain way. They expect you to continue doing, you know, what you've always done, eating with the family and what have you. Yeah, I get it. But when it comes down to losing weight, it's a caloric deficit. And you can lose weight if you do like a 200 calorie deficit and then maybe go for a 30-minute walk once a day. I mean, it's not that complicated. But fat acceptance wants you to believe it's terribly complicated and you can't possibly do it. And then the diet industry is then just kind of jumping on board and in bed with fat acceptance and being like, yes, it is super duper hard to lose weight. You can only do it if you have surgery or you take Ozempic. Which is bollocks. You can do it. It's not that difficult. And then what is your goal? Because most people are like, I want to lose weight and be a skinny legend. Okay, cool. But like Coach Greg says, halfway there. Just get halfway there. Pick, you know, okay, I want to be X amount. You know, I want to be 130 pounds. Okay, pick halfway there. What's that? You know, maybe that, you know, 160 pounds maybe. And you go, okay, well, let me get to 160 pounds and see if I can maintain this lifestyle and it's something that's easy for me to do and if I'm comfortable here. And if you get there and you're like, fuck it, I think I can go further, then cool. Go halfway from that point to your goal weight. It's going to get little each time, but you're only going halfway. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have like 5% body fat. Just get to a healthy body weight, you know, and if you can't do that, you know, lose 10% of your body weight and that's going to help you a lot. You don't have to be a skinny legend, you know, you can just lose 10% of your body weight and be in a hell of a lot better position than you were in before. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk here. Back to the show. They show that they have these cute little hearts that you write your name on and you drop in a little frame. And the last wedding I performed at, they had one of those and I drew a little bagpipe on it and put it in. I thought it was cute. It was adorbs. Megan confesses that she's scared and she wants to be with someone who will change with her. And oh honey, you can't change anyone. You can't ever change anyone. That is a huge mistake in relationships. You have to accept your partner, warts and all, for all of this stupid shit they do, you know, as they accept you for all the stupid shit you do. And if you really don't think he's a good fit for you anymore, stop wasting both of your time and dump him and find someone new. I mean, it's a little late now, but you know, that would be my advice. Now it's Megan's turn to freak out. Now that after Tina freaked out in the last episode, it's now Megan's turn to freak out. And so she can't do it. The besties talk her down off the ledge and they convince her to go through with the ceremony. It is super cute because their vows are written in WoW lingo. And then they get to the toast and I was like, wouldn't it be great if Tina said during the toast, it is time to GTFO. by setting your hearthstone to a different tavern, but that didn't happen. So Megan throws the bouquet and Vanessa catches it, but she and Ashley say they are the next to get married. And then it's the next morning? Maybe? I don't know. Did Megan and John not go on a honeymoon? It can't be the next morning after their honeymoon. I don't know. But anyway, next morning, I guess, Megan goes in and tells Tina that she wants like floating shelves on her wall, and then she wants to redo this one part in her room. And Tina finally just sits her down and is like, look, you got a GTFO. You got to get out. Megan's blow up was a bit underwhelming. And maybe that's a cliffhanger for next season. And I even went back to the 2 Large episode that Vanessa and Megan were on initially. And they seem to have their own place. They weren't living with Tina at the time. So I really don't know. I'm not really sure what has happened that has got Megan living in Tina's basement, you know? And I also kind of feel like since they're getting married, why wouldn't she just have the forethought to be like, yeah, I probably need to leave. You know, I can't stay here forever. So I don't know. We'll see next season if there is one. And with that, friends, huzzah! And I am out. Air hugs.